Rich Lowe, Pilot Legacy, on site at the Stanton, Lockhart, Texas, with our May 2023 investor update. We conducted our first on-site owner, architect, and contractor meeting on May 18th with members of Pilot Legacy, HBG Design, Axia Construction, and the outstanding members of our management team from Walker Holder Residential, all in attendance. Our general contractor, Axia Construction, is now on site permanently. Axia moved in bull rock to interface the existing driveway on the western boundary with the construction zone to the north of Stanton Phase 1. Shortly thereafter, Axia brought in its construction trailer and placed it on the northwest corner of the property. This trailer will serve as a permanent base of operations for Axia and others during the execution of Stanton Phase 2. Site work is well underway throughout the site. The north side drainage flumes and head wall have now been completely demolished and removed. On the northwest side of the property, Blue Bonnet Electric is hard at work removing the power lines and poles we previewed in last month's update. These poles and lines are standing in the way of Pad 11's progress and will be relocated further to the north sometime later. Meanwhile, on the eastern side of Phase 2, Nighthawk Construction, a local contractor from here in Lockhart, is digging out the site for Pad 7. Recall the cut and fill operation removes the native soil and replaces it with a carefully composed base fill material which meets a required Proctor profile of moisture, compaction, and plasticity in order to support the weight of the three-story apartment building to come. The compaction profile is achieved by adding water and then compacting the fill material with both the sheep's foot and the static roller. Finally, the select fill is placed on top of the base fill to lock in moisture and preserve the underlying soil profile before the site is stubbed for utilities and the foundation forms are erected. Just north of the Pad 7 dig, Pad 8's cut and fill has already been completed. However, Nighthawk is waiting until Pad 7's base fill is complete before capping 8, as Pad 8's site is being routinely traversed by the equipment working and going to and fro from Pad 7. Well, why didn't they start with Pad 7, you might ask? There was a delay in cutting Pad 7 as due diligence efforts were necessary to avoid possible damage to existing utilities located there. But that issue has since been mitigated. Once Pad 7's base fill is in place, 7 and 8 will then be capped in sequence. Here you can see the select fill is on site and ready for placement once the base cuts and fills for 7 and 8 are complete. Meanwhile, on the northernmost portion of the property, grading and preliminary cutting is underway in preparation for the cut and fills for Pads 9, 10, and 11, as well as the driveway and parking sites which will encircle the entire community. On the northwest side of the property, water lines and hydrant manifolds have been delivered and are being installed. Also of interest, we placed a CAM-DO static solar-powered time-lapse camera atop the center gable of Building 5. This camera will overlook the construction of Building 9, and in theory the camera is watertight, and ideally it's powered solely by its own solar panel. The camera is programmed to take pictures every hour from 0800 to 1800, Monday through Friday for the next 18 months. If there is no Wi-Fi network disruption, the photos are downloaded one by one as each picture is taken. Our goal is to capture the construction of Building 9 from start to finish over the course of the next 18 months. However, much to my chagrin, I learned today that the Stanton's internet provider, Spectrum Cable, will be conveniently upgrading the internet and Wi-Fi systems during the month of June. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that our flow of pictures won't be interrupted. The technology itself was a little tedious to deal with, never mind the gymnastics required to mount the camera, program it 30 feet above the ground, and ensure it was pointing where it needed to be pointed. What could go wrong? We'll see what happens, but we're rolling here at the Stanton, and we've had some pretty good weather lately, which has allowed some great progress here in the month of May. We wish you all a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you here next month when we hope to be stubbed in and prepping for some foundation work. seconds for Axia and others during the execution and preserve the underloin. Also of interest, we placed a CAMDU static solar-powered time-lapse camera atop the center of gable building of 11.